Hey folks, Leave it here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you enjoyed my review of Super. And Kick-Ass again, I apologize for getting those reviews mixed up. It was Super that was supposed to be first, but I said I read Kick-Ass first, and Super, which I got that wrong. I'll definitely be keeping a check on, like, when I do the superhero marathon, I'll definitely be keeping a check on not just the years, but the months as well. So I'm sorry about that, guys. But anyway, I went to Arby's today, did my orientation, and yeah, I got the job. So, but I don't know when I start yet. But for now, till I do, I'm gonna keep on doing reviews as usual, movie reviews as well. And as y'all know, I've been, yeah. Now remember, guys, it's the mass profile picture. You can watch videos on the my Batman profile picture of that channel, but don't subscribe to that one. Yeah, subscribe to this one. Yes. And please share my channel if you're watching this video. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the 141 subs. Keep on subscribing, guys. Keep it up, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna keep being here on YouTube and stuff. But anyway, what I've been doing, guys, is a superhero marathon. I hope I like my Beetlejuice shirt. Yeah, got it for Christmas. And yeah, we're getting close to New Year. Just 2 more days, I believe. Yeah, well, almost technically one more day, 2 more days, whatever, for New Year's Day, Eve, whenever. We're getting there, one day, whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm doing superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. I've been reviewing superhero films, talking about some TV shows. Done a Superman marathon, a Batman marathon, 80s era superhero reviews, 90s era superhero reviews, 2000s era superhero movies, which I just finished this year, and now I'm on the 2010s era of superhero movies, whether live action or animated, whether Marvel or DC, or any superhero movie. That counts that came out of this year. 2010 superhero movies that came out in the year 2010, which I'm starting with the year right now, 2010, to 2019. So, yeah. And I counted it was over 80 movies, probably 70 something now, but I did review most of them, including Batman animated ones and some live action Batman stuff and Superman, some animated, and I reviewed Man of Steel as well. And I will be sharing those reviews as well on this from my other channel on this playlist, my super reviews playlist. So you'll see some of that. But anyway, this is another Marvel review. This is a revisit review. Yes, I reviewed this film back in 2015 when Avengers: Age of Ultron came out. That was when I was actually kind of starting out my YouTube channel, the YouTube channel at the time. So it was about nearly 9 years ago. Yeah, it's been that long since I reviewed this movie, but I love this movie. This is a sequel. Uh, yeah, that stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Don Cheadle, Scarlett Johansson, and Mickey Rourke, and Sam Rockwell. And once again, directed by Jon Favreau. And that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Well, it's the third MCU movie in the franchise, and that is Iron Man 2. I love this sequel. I'm definitely an underrated movie. Now, I wouldn't say it's as good as the first, but it is a very good, solid sequel. It's not terrible. No, it's not. People that hate this movie, the hate, I don't agree with. Some of it, I can get the points of it, but it is not that bad. But yeah, it has problems, some problems that issues I have, but it's still a very entertaining sequel. I got this Blu-ray version of it. My only problem is I can't really find any much, not really much special features for the movie. And that was the thing with Iron Man 2. I mean, Incredible Hulk, that has special features and behind the scenes, but not Iron Man very much. Just talking about the character. This is the Blu-ray. I don't want to open it. It's got pictures of the Blu-rays, but I'm not trying to give away no code or anything. It's just cool to have, but I don't want to give away no code. But I just got the movie on Blu-ray. I upgraded the Blu-ray. I love how Marvel, how they put their movies on Blu-ray. I love the cover here of Iron Man 2. Definitely an underrated sequel in my opinion, and we get Black Widow in this sequel, and we get new characters like Don Cheadle replaces uh, I know the actor's name, Terrence Howard. Yeah, Don Cheadle replacing Terrence Howard as James Rhodey, and he becomes War Machine. Yeah, in this movie. So we have War Machine in this film too. And we have Mickey Rourke playing the new villain, and Sam Rockwell playing villains. So yeah, let's get to the sequel how it came to be, huh? Production development. John Farrell meeting with members of the U.S. Force and Air Force Base. Oh, so I guess they really did film there. Yep. Director John Favreau, who again directed the first movie. Jon Favreau said it was originally his intent to create a film trilogy for Iron Man, with Obadiah Stane becoming Ironmonger during the sequels. After a meeting between Favreau and various comic book writers, including Mark Miller, Stane, sorry, Stane became the main villain in Iron Man. Miller argued that the Mandarin, while Favreau originally intended him to fill that role, was too statistical. Favreau concluded, deciding, I look at Mandarin more like how Star Wars you had the Emperor, but Darth Vader is the guy you want to see fight. Then you wait to the time when lightning bolts are shooting out of the fingers, and all that stuff could happen, but you can't have happened in Return of the Jedi or happen in well, first of all, just call Star Wars now New Hope. But anyway, you just can't do it. Favreau also discussed in interviews how the film's version of Mandarin allows us to incorporate the whole plan of the villains. He mentioned that the Shield would continue to have a major role. You would get the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, but in my opinion, they screwed that up, and you didn't have Jon Favreau on it. They did not make direct the third movie, which was disappointing. During development, Favreau said that the film would explore Stark's alcoholism, but it would not be the demon in the bottle version. While promoting the first film, Downey stated that Stark would probably develop a drinking problem. He's unable to cope with his age, the effects of revealing he's Iron Man, and Pepper getting a boyfriend. Downey later confirmed that the film was not a strict adaptation of the demon in the bottle storyline from the comic book series, but was instead about the interim space between the origin and the demon story arc. The storyline was generally downplayed for the film. A studio executives were concerned with how an alcoholic Iron Man would be perceived in marketing and effective merchandise sales. Shane Black gave some advice on the script and suggested to Favreau and Downey that they might start on J. Robert Ubneo, who became depressed for being the destroyer of worlds after working on the Manhattan Project. An early version for the film story involved Justin Hammer creating different weapons in addition to Whiplash, like Ghost, but the idea was discarded. Ghost debuted in the MCU, though, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, which came out in 2018. Immediately following Iron Man's release, Marvel Studios announced that they were, of course, developing too, because Iron Man was a big hit. Uh, it was a time where Marvel movies, before Iron Man came out, there were more movies that came out, of course, but they were not well received. They were doing some good, some at the box office, but they were not big major hits, and people were mixed on it. So they had some ups and downs with their movies and sequels, like Spider-Man 3. I like Rise of Super Surfer, but people were mixed on that. Blade Trinity sucked. You had Elektra that came out, and Elektra sucked. So I guess at the time there were movies that weren't doing well. And then we got Iron Man surprisingly with Kevin Feige planning it, and Marvel worked on that, and Iron Man became a big hit. That's you know, but this is really there, and that's how everything came to be because of that movie. And of course, a sequel was bound to happen. I remember when after watching the first Iron Man, I wanted a sequel. You know, in July 2008, after several months of negotiating, Favreau he signed on to direct. That same month, Justin Theroux signed on to write the script, which would be based on a story written by Favreau and Downey, who co-wrote Tropic Thunder, which Downey had starred in. And Downey recommended him to Marvel. They storyboarded the film, and Ava Gardner returned to supervise the designs for Iron Man's armor. In October 2008, Marvel Studios came to an agreement to film Iron Man 2, as well as the next three films at Visual Studios in Manhattan Beach, California. A few days later, Don Cheadle was hired to replace Terrence Howard. On being replaced, Howard stated, there was no explanation. Apparently, the contracts that we wrote signed aren't worth the paper. They aren't printed sometimes. Promises aren't kept. Good faith keeps negotiations are always held up. Entertainment Weekly stated Favreau did not enjoy working with Howard. Often reshooting cutting scenes, Howard's publicist said he was had a good experience playing the part, while Marvel chose not to comment. Favreau and Theodore chose to reduce the role. Marvel came to Howard to discuss lowering his salary. Howard was the first actor hired in Iron Man and was paid the largest salary. The publication stated that they were over with Howard's left the project. First of all, Marvel chose to stop negotiating. Now, I don't know if they didn't get along behind the scenes or Terrence Howard wanted more money and they said, nope, we're cutting you out. We're not wanting it. The Rex denied the part of the report which claimed the cities of the world had fluctuated. In November 2013, Howard stated that going into the film, the studio offered him far less than his three-picture contract. Simply they told him the segment would be successful, with or without you. And, without mentioning him by name, and said Downey took the money that was supposed to go to me and pushed me out. In January 2009, Rourke and Rockwell entered to play a pair of villains. A few days later, Rockwell confirmed he would take the role and that his character would be Justin Hammer. Paul Bettany confirmed that he would return for Jarvis, which he did. Marvel entered into early talks. Thank God they didn't have Emily Blunt. Instead, we got Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, I don't like Emily Blunt as an just, shitty British actress, in my opinion. Samuel Jackson confirmed that he had been discussing to reprise the role of Nick Fury when he made a cameo at the end of Iron Man 2008. Spoiler alert on that. And there will be spoilers in this review. It made a deal difficult. Jackson said, there was a huge kind of negotiation that broke down. I don't know, maybe I won't be free. In February, Jackson and Marvel came to terms, and he was signed to play the character up to 9 films. Downey and Rourke discussed the part of his part during a routine discussion. David asked at the 2009 Golden Globes, and Rourke met with Favreau and Third X to discuss the role. Rourke dropped out because of Marvel's potential salary, $205,000, but the studio raised the offer, and Rourke signed on. Later that same day, Scarlett Johansson signed to play Black Widow. Her deal included options for multiple films, including The Avengers. Prior to her casting, Johansson had also researched her Marvel characters for the Phantom of the Wasp, and of course she got part of Black Widow. I think uh, Scarlett did a lot of training, action scenes. So you definitely tell here the way she did in this movie, she did a lot of training and exercising for this part. But filming, photography began with this film on April 6, 2009, and the Palace Mess Temple within working. Production took place at Relic Studios, like Edward Force Base. They shot there for a bit. That location has been used for Iron Man, and Farrell said that he felt the real military made the movie more authentic. Yeah. As Son Jr. reported that John Slattery had joined the film's cast as Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father. A large amount of improvisation was done on setting during filming, from Downey, which throwed us to writing, gymnastics, creating narrative around the ad-libs. Post-production, January 2010, Marvel Entertainment Paramount limited release on digital IMAX screens. Don Cheadle, before and after they had their ILM, Just Like Magic did the score. As you can see here, pictures of them like in their Iron Man and War Machine shoots for the climax of the film. You know, Industrial Light Magic has been they've been doing movies since Star Wars from 1997. Yeah, that came out in 1997. So Star Wars. Yeah, the island created 27 shots for the film using programs such as Maya. Permission worked on over 125 shots for the film. They created gadgets such as Tony Stark's transport smartphone and created the backdrop for the Stark bow. And I do love these special effects. They're really good. The film does have a ATC, have a cool soundtrack. Highway to Hell, Shooting the Thrill. Yeah, I don't like the Highway to Hell song, but that's just me. But I do love Shoot the Thrill. For the marketing though, uh, they had like commercials and stuff, some advertisement for the movie, of course, the trailer, TV spots probably. You had Iron Man 2, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, you see pictures of Iron Man and Whiplash there on Dr. Pepper cans. Uh, Burger King set some toys that look like they did for the first movie, just to market the film. Yeah, I remember the marketing for the trailer when Whiplash attacks Iron Man at the racetrack. Yeah, that was part of the teaser. And of course, Iron Man 2 also had a video game. I did play the game, but I think I played it on PSP or something like that. It was on PlayStation 3, Wii, Xbox, portable BlackBerry, Playbook, PlayStation 3. Players can either play as Iron Man or War Machine, with each throwing unique style. While Iron Man is sleeker and relies such more on energy weapons, War Machine is outfitted with more weaponry and tougher, as he's got the machine gun on the side. You know, and I guess of him taking down villains, and you just play as War Machine, and yeah, and characters and talk. It was a fun little game to play, but I think the first game is better too. And of course, marketing the movie at the San Diego Comic Con. Yeah, Iron Man 2 premiered at theater in Los Angeles, California. It was released on September 28, 2010 on DVD. And then, of course, you did get a sequel after this for this movie by Iron Man 3. But I don't think that was in. This is phase one of Marvel. This is when they were building up to the Avengers. And after that, you got Iron Man 3. Well, Chris says Iron Man 2 is a much fun suppressor, but by the time it's smoke clears, it'll do. I think it's as fun as the first movie. It's a solid sequel. I think critics, I can agree with some people's problems with it, but I'm gonna get into that much later. And like I said, I'm gonna see. Let's get into the cast, shall we? Cast for the movie. You have Robert Downey Jr.'s come back as Tony Stark Iron Man. He's a billionaire who becomes Iron Man. He's a weapons star. He has his own Stark Industries. He becomes Iron Man, becomes a superhero. Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. Uh, yeah, she gets promoted to CEO of Stark Industries. She's an assistant in the first movie, but and their romance, continues to grow here. And Don Cheadle as James Rhodey Rhodes, War Machine. He's an officer in the U.S. Force, and he later becomes War Machine. So we do have War Machine in this movie. Scarlett Johansson, if you've seen the posters and stuff of this movie, yeah, the suit for War Machine looks awesome. I think Scarlett Johansson in her first time in the MCU as Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. She's an undercover spy for Shield, posing as Stark's new assistant. Yeah, yeah. Sam Rockwell comes as Justin Hammer, who's a rubber weapons manufacturer. He has Hammer Industries. He was considered for the role of Tony Stark in the first film, and he accepted the role of Hammer while reading the script. So I guess he didn't get to do that. So I guess he wanted to be, yeah. And Mickey Rourke is Ivan Vanko, Whiplash, a Russian psychic and ex-convict who builds a pair of operator-based electric whips to exact vengeance on the Stark family. And Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, who's director of S.H.I.E.L.D. You also have Clark Gregg coming back as Agent Phil Coulson. And of course, John Favreau does play Happy Hogan, his bodyguard. And Paul Bettany comes back as Jarvis, as the voice of Jarvis. And Stan Lee does have a cameo as mistaken for Larry King. And the film is once again directed by Jon Favreau, who directed the first movie. He was also in Daredevil, but he didn't direct that. But he played Foggy or something like that. I forget his Thor character's name. No, I remember. Yeah, but he's also directed Elf, the Thor Space Adventure, and after Iron Man 1 and 2, he directed Cowboys and Aliens, Chef, the Jungle Lion King remake. Those terrible movies. Hmm. Acting wise, though, he's at some real say he played in Daredevil. That was a Marvel 2000. That's before the MCU ever happened. Screenplays by Justin Theroux. He's an actor as well, and he's worked on movies like he was in American Psycho. That was with Christian Bale. Before Christian Bale was Batman, Zoolander, Duplex, uh, Ben Stiller movies, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, not the 2019 film. Megamind, which is another superhero movie, and he also had a cameo in Joker, uncredited cameo in Joker in 2019. Not a superhero movie, but still a comic book movie. Produced by Kevin Feige, it was produced, I'm sure, with nearly all the MCU movies and continues to do that today. Cinematography by Matthew Lipwood, who did cinematography for a movie called Pi, Workroom for a Dream, The Fountain, Black Swan, Noah, The Number 23, Cowboys and Aliens, Venom, oh gosh, the first Venom movie, Birds of Prey. Yeah, films that, well, I've seen Venom, that's not good, but Birds of Prey I heard was a very good movie. Edited by Dan LaPennell, who does, who's done editing for films like Elf from 2003, also directed by Jon Favreau. Murder Was a Case, The Thor Space Adventure, also a Jon Favreau movie. And Cowboys and Aliens and Thor the Dark World and Ant-Man and Spider-Man Coming Home. Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home and Ant-Man the Wasp. And Beverly Hills Cop, Fuller, Axel Foley. Yeah, that came out this year. Yeah. And editing, it was other Richard Person, who's edited Bowfinger, Scary Movie 2, Men in Black 2, The Rundown, The Bourne Supremacy. Yeah, Safe House, Red Dawn remake, Kong Skull Island, Justice League, and Wonder Woman 1984. Music is by John Debney. Yeah, he's worked with Jon Favreau. He did music for a bit for an animated movie. He scored Jetsons the movie, Hocus Pocus, Little Giants, Sudden Death, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Carpool, The Relic, Liar Liar, Jim Carrey movie, Lost and Found with David Spade, Inspector Gadget, End of Day starring Arnold, Cats and Dogs, Princess Diaries, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Snow Dogs, Bruce Almighty, and Elf, which he worked, that was directed by Jon Favreau too. Looney Tunes Back in Action, Spider-Man 2, additional music score though by Danny Elfman. He worked with Elfman on that movie. And Thor Space Adventure, Cheap by the Dozen 2, uh, Spider-Man 3. I guess it worked with Christopher Young on that. Because Danny Elfman did not do the music score for Spider-Man 2. That was Christopher Young who replaced him at the time. Because him and Raimi had a falling out. But anyway, Old Dogs, Predators, they came out the same year. Alex Cross. Production company is Marvel Studios, distributed by Paramount Pictures. It was released May 7th, 2010, here in the United States. It's 125 minutes long, about 2 hours and 4 minutes. The budget to make the movie was $172 through $200 million. And at the box office made $623.9 million worldwide, so it was successful when it came out. It's the seventh highest grossing film of 2010. In the story of the movie, of what Iron Man 2 was about, what the story's about is that this time around, though, with the world now aware that he is Iron Man, that Tony Stark is Iron Man after he announced it to the world, billionaire inventor Tony Stark faces pressure from all sides to share his technology with the military. He is reluctant to allow the secrets of his armored suit. Fearing the information will fall into the wrong hands. While Pepper Potts and Rhodey by his side, Tony must form new news alliances and confront a powerful new enemy called Whiplash, or Ivan Vanko, who wants revenge on him because apparently Howard had arrested his father 40 something years ago, and I was out for revenge. And those new alliances include, facing Justin Hammer, who's a rival and has plans of his own, you know. And the spoiler alert, his health is declining and he could be dying. And also with the new ally, you have, of course, Natasha Rushman, who's his new assistant, but her real name is Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, and she comes in to help him too when and he's got to pretty much stop Whiplash, along with the help of Rhodey, who becomes a war machine, and they have to defeat and take Vanko. And his basically he kind of builds his own army, and Iron Man and War Machine must take Whiplash down for good and defeat him and save the day. So yeah, if all that making sense there. Yeah, they do add a little bit to the story half the time with this movie. But with the sequel, we're ahead of the origin, so they gotta add some different characters and add a little bit more to the story. Someone talk about the movie itself, then give my final opinion on it. Now, I'm sorry if my nose. If I feel like I have to blow my nose, I'm gonna go to my bathroom and do that. Okay. I won't sneeze on camera because that'd be just gross. People don't want to see that. But Iron Man 2, like I said, underrated sequel, solid sequel. So let's get to it. So pretty much the movie opens up with the Paramount logo. You hear Tony Stark talking in the first movie and basically revealing to the world he's Iron Man. Meanwhile, you have in Russia when he's revealing this, you have Antonio Vanko dies in the arms of his son Ivan, and I thought McCure did a good job, you know. And he's upset. He, he's mad. He wants revenge. He finds these blueprints for this art reactor, and he builds these weapons. Kind of like whiplashes of electricity. It's like so he says to get revenge on Stark. Yeah, and Ivo starts kind of building his own art reactor to go after Iron Man himself to get revenge on Stark. Then 6 months later, though, you have his fame gets increased. He goes to the Stark Expo, which is cool. You got the ACD song playing like da da da, and him flying off in the air, and his Iron Man suit, that was cool. Then the Machine taking the suit off, and then Tony smiling and talking about his father's dream and stuff of endorsing inventors and inventions that will one day benefit the world. Uh, then he says, "To the world, my father," and he shows a old video of his father talking about the future of Stark Industries. You know, he knows that he's checking his blood pressure's not good. The art actor in his that he got in the first movie, if you remember, when he was in Afghanistan, well, it's time now killing him. It's affecting his body. It's making him sick. But he keeps it as a secret. Uh, then he meets people, and this way you have like King, well, Stan Lee making a cameo. You have Kate Myra here. Kate Myra, I can't say that's her name, but if you've seen her, if you've seen the movie Zoom, 2006, Academy of Superheroes, she was in that. And of course, I know people hate the movie, but she was Susan Storm, Invisible Woman, in Fan Check, which I don't hate that film. That's just me personally. I don't mind that movie. He gets served. He gets summoned to an attend uh, court, to the Armed Forces Committee on hearing the existence and threat of the Iron Man armor. Senator Stern, who doesn't like him, demands that he hands over his armor technology. He's like, "No, I am Iron Man. To hand him my suit, I hand him myself. I'm not going to tell my secrets. I'm never going to do it." He embarrasses Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer says, Stark can't do his weapons right. He shows it on TV. The Stark is able to get attention on that. You see, I do got my eyes on everything, really. But they can't do nothing about it. And Senator Stern's like, "F you, Mr. Stark." He doesn't like it. He's like, "Peace, I'm out. I've done good for the world." And he has done some good for the world. So they really can't attack nothing on him. They can't really prove anything to take his suit away from him. And Rhodey tries to speak on his behalf. Again played by Don Cheadle. Stark then returns home, and he tells him that the toxin of his blood has risen with the R reactor in his heart. The shutdown from reaching his heart is slowly killing him, and there are no other suitable replacements because he'll have to find one. Since Stark thinks would die, he talks to Pepper. They kind of argue, like split back and forth. They argue like a married couple, literally like a married couple. And he says, "I'm making you CEO," so he makes her CEO of Stark Industries. And then she makes Natalie Rushman. As soon as she sees Scarlett Johansson, it's like, whoa, like I'm in love. He's like boxing with Happy, and she goes in there to box with him, and she takes him down, which is awesome. Like Bass. He's like, "I want one." Like Pepper's like, "No, yeah, I want one, yeah." But they're funny, and the humor works in this movie too, as well. They go to the Monica Grand Prix. Star talks to Hammer, and I forget the actress's name, but she was in the first movie. Yeah, but Stark gives drive. They're having the Formula One driver. So Stark drives himself. He's just seeking some enjoyment before he dies. Meanwhile, Ivan is able to come to seek his way to America with his armor suits, as well as he gains access to the Grand Prix through the means of his associate in the electric whips. You've seen the trailer, and he's attacking the race cars that coming next to him. And when Stark comes to an awesome race stuff, but when he sees Vanko Whiplash has his again electric whips it, and Tony tries to hit him in the head, but then he attacks Tony, and Tony needs a suit, and Happy drives the car along with Pepper in it to give him his armor suit. Can't get it, and they hit Vanko, didn't affect him though. Vanko's attacking them still. He's back and forth, like, "I need the suit, I need the suit." It's like, and she throws him this, she just throws it. He's like, and puts the suit on him, which is really cool in this when you get like this scene of the suit, which is cool. And him and Tony fight. First, Tony just kicks the car away, so that'll be safe. He's able to attack him at first just a few times. He's able to take him Iron Man with the electric whips, nearly takes him down. But Iron Man's able to shoot him down and knock him out. It takes the suit off. Iron Man destroys his art reactor, and therefore he's Ivan sent to prison. Tony goes to talk to him. He's like, "You come from a family of murderers. If you can make God believe it, if you can make God bleed, people will just to believe him." He has this good hour dialogue. It's like, "Tony, as if you're gonna, in that chest of yours, is gonna kill you soon." And of course, he learned about him that he collaborated on the first reactor with Stark's father, Howard Stark. Ivan's father did. Vanko's in prison, but he gets broken out of jail because someone gives him Joe the Potatoes a bomb on it. He's got the same ID badge, or his uh, prison jumpsuit's got the same number as the guy, so he whips the guy out, blows it up. So the security tries to stop him, and then Ivo breaks his neck and gets out. The enemy's Justin Hammer, who offers him to eat lunch. He's like, "Give me Bert, give me Bert." Christian helped make his own Iron Man suits, and gain revenge on Stark by tarnishing his name and imagine. He wants to ruin his legacy, but I would say Ivan has plans of his own because again, he's intending to get revenge and he wants to kill Stark. So yeah, he shows him these weapons, kind of like him in his language, personal language. Is software shit. He's gonna put drones in there. He's gonna put the drones in there himself because again, like I said, he has his own plans. And first, Justin Hammer questions it. You know, he just wants to ruin Stark's Imagine, and I think his plan is just to ruin Stark's Imagine and ruin his legacy, so that he could, because again, company rivals, and he would like to get rid of Stark. I think he's just jealous of Stark and uses this opportunity to, at least, you know, get rid of Stark, his legacy and stuff. Take over the weapons business for himself. Um, Tony, who's going through a hard time, is getting more sick, and all like everybody comes to this like, "Tony, what's wrong with you? We need to talk because the military's gonna come here and they're gonna take those suits from you if you don't give it up. You can't. This is not a game anymore. They're not playing games with you. They're gonna come and get it." He's like, "You understand me, man?" He's like, "Well, you okay?" And Tony just passing out, and Rhodes helps him out. And Tony that night is thinking, "What's he gonna do?" He thinks he's dying. He asks Natasha, "Well, what would you do if it was your last night on Earth?" He's like, "I just have the time of my life," and that's what he does. He goes to a party. He's in his Iron Man suit. His Margaret Former. He gets drunk. James, Rhodey comes by and Pepper tries to get him to calm down. Though the party's like, the party's done, but after the party's done, he's drunk and he's, yeah, you know, drinking, drunk, and he's in the summer suit and he's shooting the blasters out of his hands, which honestly is dangerous. He could hurt somebody because a superhero really can't fool around, even if they don't have powers or they have like, well, Star of course has his Iron Man weapon, but playing around with it is pretty dangerous because he could have hurt somebody. So, but thankfully, Brody puts the Mark II suit on, which I think Tony used that suit to test before testing. Yeah, tell him to shut the suit down and stop. And he grabs him, and Tony like is able to use the fight. Even though he's drunk, Tony is still more capable of fighting in the suit because he's finding that suit a little longer. Brody, gets knocked on his ass first when he pushes it back because he's able to stop. Yeah, and just walks away. He's like, "Just put the suit back, okay?" There was a way to his head. He's not hurt because the suit's like. And then Iron Man picks up the suit, not the suit, but uh, picks up a weight bench and throws it at him, and they fight for a bit. They eventually end up down on the floor into the house where people see them fighting, and they're just punching each other, and he's able to, knock Rhodey out. And Tony sees the people, looks at them, and he's like, "You don't stop them." It scares him. Yeah, that was scary. uh, it's like, you think you got takes, and they shoot the blasters at each other. Eventually, Tony's just knocked out and passed out drunk, and takes the Brody takes the suit to Air Force One base. Stark is disgraced and is having a hangover. He gets a person for Nick Fury. He's eating on top of this donut shop. Yeah, donut, just relaxing and messing up. And that's where that him and Nick Fury have a talk. And then, spoiler alert, he confesses to him that, of course, Natasha is Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, that he's an agent working for her, that they need to test him out. They give Tony the serum. He's got like this effect on his suit, on his body that is killing him, and it'll make him better for a while. They He basically tells him, so your dad went through all this, and you're just getting lazy, Stark. You need to work on you better. He's like, I am Iron Man. I'm always gonna be. And they have a talk and talk about his father, and they provide him with this box with his father's old stuff in it. Stark discovers a message from his father that leads him to examine the original 1974 the Star Explorer. First, he's just starting to work on this stuff. He needs to build a new heart, a new reactor for his heart. Starts working on that. He's got, you know, Agent Coulson walks him. Is like, Agent Coulson's like, I'm not here to babysit you, but if you try to mess up, try to go away, try to disappear, try to make a phone call, I would tase you while you drool and watch The Simpsons or something like that. Yeah. But Tony is encouraged by this video of his old father. You see like the younger kid, Tony as a kid in the video, and in this film, he's like, and Howard doing some outtakes like, "Hey, Mary, I'd like to show you my house." He says, "Tony, I built this for you." You know, and he goes tries to go get Pepper. He doesn't like people handing things, but he tries to get her strawberries, but she's allergic. He's like, "Well, I'm trying to do you a favor, Pepper. I'm trying to apologize," and she doesn't want to hear it. I got a company to run, and you're acting foolish, and you're doing this, and I don't want to talk to him. Bye. But he takes the doorman of the 1974, the replicant of it, takes that well, he takes it to his house. He builds a portable accelerator with the aid of his computer Jarvis. He synthesizes this new element, creating a new perfect art reactor that cures his poisoning. Yeah. And Stern goes away. Not Stern. Um, Agent Coulson goes away. He helps him out a little bit. He's like, "What's this?" It looks like part of Captain America's shield, by the way. Cool. But he builds that reactor, builds up to his new heart. When he finds out, he gets a call from Ivan Vanko. Ivan, who he's getting his bird taken away and captured, and has just Amber has these two girls. Like, I'm going to start Expo, and I'm going to build these new weapons, and then we'll work more on our arrangement. Ivan kills them, the two guards. Calls Tony. He's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get my revenge on you. And then he can't get a trace on him, but he realizes that it's just the hammer. The hammer's working with him, so he has to, start. He's like, gets his new hard and new reactor in, and puts on his Iron Man suit. Justin Hammer has started to propose his new military drones, which is based on the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force. And Iron Man shows up. You have War Machine as well. Iron Man shows up, which is cool. He's like, I'm not here to fight. He's like, I know we're here to talk, but listen to me. He tells Rhodey that Vanko's alive, and Iron Man goes to just Hammer saying, "Where's Vanko at?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, it's like, no, you know where he's at. But then the drones start to take over. Thanks to Ivo and try to attack Iron Man. Even Rhodey does. Vanko has complete control of it, so they have a chase with Tony. Tony chases some of them. Well, he gets them away from the people. You have this little kid that tries to shoot at one a little bit. One about to shoot at the kid, but Iron Man shows up. So I was like, "Good work, kid!" And that kid, actually, from what I heard in the MCU, it was actually a young Peter Parker who would later become Spider-Man. So, but maybe, yeah. And he's got his friend attack. He's got uh, Rhodey trying to attack him, but Rhodey's not doing it on purpose. But eventually, they're able to get, Natasha's able to get some control. They go to Hammer. Hammer tends to gain control, and Pepper then come over. Natasha tackles him down like this. where is he at? Where's Vanko Ivan at? Vanko at? She tells him his facility. She goes there along with Happy Hogan's like, I'm driving. They go there. She changes into her suit. You know, first takes her clothes off, and Hogan's like looking. He's like, she's like, watch the road. Yeah, which is funny. And that's the scene where they get into the facility, and she's kicking ass, which is cool. She's breaking names, taking names, kicking ass. There's some good fight scenes, spraying some guys. And as she tackles one guy down, she just sprays him like a badass. And I mean, he's in the wrestling match with this one guy, bites him in there, knocks him out. Upper hands like, I got him. And then sees that she knocked all these guys out. But Ivan's gone. He's got a new suit. Iron Man and War Machine end up like in this globe park or whatever. And Iron Man wakes him up. And he's like, wake up, wake up. And he's like, okay, well, partner, we can work together now. And with his War Machine, he's like, okay, I go to the top. I go this way. He's like, where are you going? I'm going to the top. It's safety there. I'm like, okay. Then he goes, right, no, that's a kill zone. But then while the drones show up, all of them show up to fight Iron Man and War Machine. Yeah, that's where you get that scene. Then they put their mask on and they fight. This scene, Iron Man and War Machine is fighting these drones. It's badass. That's when they kick and Iron Man punches one, blows one up. Uh, Iron Man Machine's got the machine guns, all this, shooting them down. Iron Man breaks their face a little bit, shoots one down. It says back up, and then has these on the side of his arm, like red beams where he knocks them all out, which is cool. Takes them out easily. So easy fight. And Vanko shows up in a new powerful suit, in his new Whiplash suit. He's like, I take this guy. They try to use like a hammer missile, but it doesn't work. And at first, I was able to nearly kill Tony, able to whiplash him around a bit, but they both shoot him down, take him down. And then Vanko's like, haha, I win. And they realize all these are set displays. Like, and Peppers decided to stay at the place, but she's there too. And Tony realizes she's gonna blow up, she's gonna die. Rushes off and is Iron Man and saves her life. Yeah. David Cameron's like, you're about to die. He's like, I can't handle the stress. Tony, I quit. That's good. Because I'm glad, and they kind of smile at each other and they share a kiss finally. It's about time. And War Machine, Rhodey's there. He's like, I heard everything. He was like, why don't you two go get your own roof? And then he was like, I'm keeping your suit. Ain't nothing you knew about it. So like, okay. And finally becoming, War Machine becoming Iron Man's sidekick. I guess you save your time being when he needs him. Yeah. And Stark has a talk with Nick Fury saying that he's unsuitable because they did an evaluation on him. But they would like him as a consultant, which means sometimes if they need Iron Man, they'll let him know. He agrees on that one condition that Stern presents them and Rhodes with their medals for bravery. Meanwhile, it works, and Stern who doesn't like it, has to put up a good act. Basically, the show government telling me he has to do it, he has to do it. When you're told about I guess when you're told about your boss is over, you gotta do it, right? No, I was kidding. Well, he does. He's like, oh, you little crap. I'm like, ooh, wow, I'm sorry that hurt. They smile at the end, and the movie ends there. And you have Shield agent Phil Coulson, who was seen driving to a remote place in New Mexico, and calling Fury and say, "Sir, we finally found it. It's here." Yeah, and it is revealed to be a Mr. Cameron, which is, of course, the God of Thunder himself, Thor. So, and then that will be the next movie because every MCU movie always stick to the end of the movie. If you're ever going through binging the MCU movie franchise, if you're binge watching the movies, remember they always have an end credit scene that was with Mexico and seeing Thor's hammer. So therefore, you know who's going to be the next movie. But that was the end of Iron Man 2. All right. I don't know if I reading quotes. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could. I'm just too darn tired. It's 9. Well, yeah, a little time. Real quick. My priority is to get the Iron Man weapons turned over to the people of the United States of America. Well, you can forget it. I am Iron Man. The suit and I are one. To turn over the Iron Man suit will be turned over myself, which is technically unsuitable for prostitution, depending on what you're stating. You can't have it. Like, I'm an expert. In prostitution, of course, you're not. You're a sinner. Come on. Where do you get this? Do you have any idea what this is? This is what I need. 3C perfectly level. Tony, you're too young to understand this right now, so I thought I would. But I built this for you, and someday you'll realize it represents a whole lot more than just people's inventions. It represents my life's work. This is the key to the future. I'm limited by the technology of my time when he's talking to Tony through the video. But one day you'll figure this out, and when you do, you'll change the world. What has always been my greatest creation is you. I guess that's even though Tony Phelps never say my father never used to say like me or love me, but when he says my greatest creation is you, I guess that means saying that to Tony that he does love him. Oh yeah, these are the Cuban babies. This is Galapagos and the Moscos. You know when he's showing them the weapons. If you try to escape or play any sort of games with me, I will tase you and watch Super Nanny while you're drooling the carpet. Told you I don't want to join your Superboy band. You're fired. It's not up to you. I don't like people handing me things. Just put it down. Aren't you Iron Man? Sometimes. Well, then you must have known my father better than I did. As a matter of fact, I did. He was one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wait, what? I'm surprised you could keep your mouth shut. God, you're good. You were mine. Blowing keep close to this. Alright. Well, I don't want to read too many cool guys. Just let me summon my opinion on Iron Man 2. But it is good dialogue in there. But to get my final opinion, I love Iron Man 2. This is a sequel. Let me say. I do love the story. I thought the film was good. I thought the directing, I thought Jon Favreau did a good job directing once again. It does have a good story. I like seeing how Tony's going through that he's dying, that the art reactor in his heart is killing him, and he's gonna, of course, he's got to get this new one, and he does. You know, and when you get Iron Man in action here, it's really cool, especially the end battle with when Rhodey finally becomes War Machine, him and Iron Man are teaming up, they're fighting the drones at the end. That was awesome. A lot of awesome action scenes. And again for the cast, Don Cheadle replacing, I think he's perfect. I think he's better than Terrence Howard was good, but I prefer Don Cheadle to be better Brody, and it's cool that he became War Machine. He was awesome. Scarlett Johansson, gorgeous, very beautiful. She was a badass. Her character was a badass in here. Yeah, probably my favorite actress in the MCU. Her and probably Brie Larson. You think of others, but you got to go with her first because she was like the very top. She was the first one that came. As a badass. You know, eventually Pepper will become a badass too in her own right, but you will see that to a later film in Avengers Endgame. But Robert Downey Jr. once again, he's Iron Man. No matter what, I don't care if you're watching an Iron Man movie, Avengers movie, or Captain America Civil War, but he's in it. He is Iron Man, and like Christopher Reeve is Superman and Michael Keaton is Batman, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. There's no one else that can play him. He was great for the role. He was the right guy for the role, and he's always perfect to watch. If you don't like the movie, or if you're not a fan of him, you can't admit that Robert's just great. Iron Man would not work without him. Mickey Rourke, I thought did a great job, and Sam Rockwell, I thought did fine. I don't think he really needed his character in the movie, but he did good for what he had to do. Not saying he can play a good villain. I mean, Green Mile is a different movie, but as Wild Bill, he's really good in that too. Yeah, I think he would also work with Jon Favreau again, though, Justin. Sam Rockwell, because if you've seen Cowboys and Aliens, I think Jon Favreau directed that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, he directed Cowboys and Aliens, and Sam Rockwell will be in that too. Yeah, yeah, and Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts does a great job. Samuel Jackson does great, of course. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, good casting here, good story. The editing I think is really good. The CGI, the special effects are really good in this film. Iron Man's new suit looks really cool. Yeah, yeah. And the film's 2 4 minutes long. It goes by at a good pace, in my opinion. For a sequel, it goes by a good pace. Nowadays, with new superhero movies or Marvel movies, they try to make it way over too long sometimes, like over 2 hours longer. This is 2 hours and 4 minutes, which is not too bad. It goes by at a really good pace. It's an entertaining sequel. It's a lot of good humor in it. It's very fun to watch. Now, to my problems. I do wish that we got more of Iron Man in the suit. With thankfully though, he does become back in the Avengers, so we do get more of Iron Man in the Avengers, and of course Age of Ultron. But despite that, I didn't care because I did care about Tony. Regardless, he is still Iron Man, even without the suit. But I do wish to see Iron Man. It was Iron Man more in the action. I was fine with that in the first movie. The first movie is perfectly fine. Iron Man 3, we didn't get him much in the action with Iron Man. At least in here, when he's ready to go to action, he'll put his Iron Man suit on, which is what you want to see, and you do get that. Iron Man 3, you didn't really get that. It was just Tony himself. So you hardly got Iron Man there. But you did some scenes, but not very much in Iron Man 3. But at least Iron Man 2, you do get some scenes of Iron Man being in action. You know, the thing where he's flying. Yeah, but I think you needed more of that Marvel. I do want to see the guy more in the suit. You know, but he does wear the suit like when he's eating the donuts and talking with Fury, so he can still be Iron Man regardless without the suit. I get the point. It's the man that makes the suit, not the suit that makes the man. Plain story. Okay. Um. Yeah, and I wish to see Iron Man more on screen. I just wanted to see more action scenes of Iron Man fighting. I wish I got more of that. In the first movie, I get well for the first movie, it's an origin story, so kind of telling his story of Tony how he becomes Iron Man. That's basically what it was about, his origin story. Now that we got that, I do want to see more of Iron Man. I think let's see what you needed to see more of Iron Man in action. Mickey Rourke is good. I feel like he didn't get a whole lot of screen time. I mean, he does get some decent amount of screen time, but I felt like they killed him off too easily. That fight at the end, the climax, I think could have been better. They just, you know, him and Rhodey just blast them together like they did when they fought for the first time with the blasters and take him out like that. Then he just blows himself up. I'm like, okay, that's the way to cheat out of it, you know. He basically just does like the Predator and kind of blows himself up after losing, you know. But I'm like, really? Just like it just happens like that. Feels like within 5 minutes or 10 minutes he's taken out, you know. He said it's not easy to have to work together, but still I want to see more of a fight there. I want to see the heroes fight more and struggle more. I mean, at least in the first movie, Ironmonger, him and Iron Man fought for a good while there. You know, it was the longest fight in history, but it felt a lot better. You know, you want to see the hero come up against a villain that could be badass and the Incredible Hulk, Abomination. That fight was well. You want to fight like that to go on for a little longer. You know, not to have the villain taken down so easily. Mickey Rourke should have done a little more. Listen, Sam Rockwell, he does fine, but I don't think his character was needed. He could be a little obnoxious at times. Yeah, sometimes it can be funny and sometimes a little irritating, but not that badly. But I felt like his character wasn't needed. Just stick to having one villain. I get it, you gotta have new characters in a sequel, but you didn't really need to make it Justin Hammer a villain. I don't think you really needed to do that. His motivation, I thought, was pretty weak in my opinion. And he wants to, I guess, replace Stark and ruin his legacy and, you know, build Iron Man suits and, I guess, become rich and more successful than him. Yeah, but I didn't find that all interesting at all. And I do wish they would have stuck with the Demon in the Bottle storyline. I get it. I guess because at the time the studio said, well, that ain't going to be for kids because I guess, you know, young kids would go see this movie and they don't want, you know, they didn't want to make it dark and depressing because again, you had the Dark Knight, so I guess Marvel just wanted to keep it a lighter tone. So they just instead of giving him a drinking problem, he does get drunk, like I said. You get the party scene where he's drunk, and that's it. But you don't have him, you know, drinking and smoking and potting that much, you know, in the movie. Pot. That's a pot. Yeah, but you do have him drinking, you know, in that one scene. But you could have focused more on the storyline. I don't mad about it, but I wish they would have focused more. But I guess they didn't want to. They weren't trying to make this movie dark. Again, I know what you're thinking, the boss, but I guess the studio didn't want to do that. They thought some of the writers thought we could do, which I disagree with. They could have gone more on him being an alcoholic, but I guess they just didn't want to make it depressing. I get it. I don't want a depressing Iron Man movie. Again, sometimes you don't have to go by the comics, which is fine. Yeah. But in the end, I don't mind seeing that version, Dark Version, start, you know, the Demon in the Ball storyline. That would have been more interesting. But I like the fact that the art actor's killing him and he's got to bring himself back to life. He's started to stop caring and let himself die until he has to regain himself and, you know, basically fix himself. You know, and he does. But I wish they would have focused on that Demon in the Ball storyline. So I can't think of any more problems I have. Uh, not really. But Scarlett Johansson, she definitely stole the show here, in my opinion. She's great. And it's cool to see War Machine, too, you know. But again, I wish there was just more action scenes with them. Make it work. I wish we weren't taking that so easily. I wish he had a lot more screen time. Justin Hammer, you didn't really need this character in the movie. You did have him there, but he didn't really need to be a villain, a major character. He's not. He wasn't bad. He was just a little too obnoxious for me. And a bit more action scenes with Iron Man in the suit. You know, yeah. And maybe working on the Demon in the Bottle storyline a little bit. I get it. Tony loves the attention. That's why he becomes Iron Man. But hey, he's not a superhero. He doesn't want to keep his identity. So, but that's all right. It just makes it more funny and entertaining to watch. So, but either way, this is still a solid sequel. It's a fun sequel. It's a heavy story. It's engaging. Get through. It goes through at a quick pace. It's not a movie that I'm annoyed. The humor works, and you know, Robert Downey Jr., Ben Paltrow, they have good chemistry here. I buy them being in love when they kiss at the end. I buy them falling for each other, and they do become a couple in the Avengers. And of course, the third movie, they're basically in a stable relationship as they're living together now. So, and of course, I think Pepper will continue to be CEO of his company, you know, taking care of Tony and stuff, and seeing their relationship grow. I like that, you know. That was one of the best parts of Iron Man 3 is seeing Tony and Pepper together, you know. Because I've always thought they had a good chemistry and good couple there, you know, a good couple and their chemistry worked, and I'm glad they built it up here. It was very sweet. And yeah, the villains were good too. That's where Mickey Rourke had more to do, and Whiplash had a bit more of a fight, you know. I want to see a little more hard edge fight like with Ironmonger, but we didn't get that. But hey, he's still better than what we got in the next movie. What they did with the Mandarin, oh, don't remind me of Iron Man 3, please. What Shane Black did with that was screwed up. At least I'll say this: Jon Favreau did not make a villain a joke, and he did not copy Jim Carrey from Batman Forever. You know what I'm talking about when I get an Iron Man 3 review down the road. But anyway, Iron Man 2, good, solid sequel in my opinion. For a third MCU movie, good movie. Very entertaining sequel. Solid sequel in my opinion. Fun sequel to watch. And definitely an underrated movie too. Just has some problems, but it's still good. But my rating for Iron Man 2, it's not as good as the first movie, but it's good enough. As a sequel, it's a very solid, entertaining sequel. But anyway, okay. That's my opinion on it. And my rating for Iron Man 2 is 4 to 5 stars and a thumbs up. So, guys, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Iron Man 2 in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And then some people probably hate it, and that's fine if you do, but again, I've seen worse. This is definitely better than X Men Apocalypse, X Men First Class, and X Men Dark Phoenix. I could watch this with New Minutes. I could watch this over The Flash from last year, but that's just me. I could watch this over Snack Side of Justice League, you know, or I could watch this over Morbius. I could watch this over Morbius. The Venom movies, I'd rather watch this over the Venom movies, over Morbius, over. I'd rather watch this than Craven the Hunter, but that's just me. And the Venom movies I mentioned, and Madam Web. Yeah, it's better than those movies. At least this movie made money, and it made more money than Craven the Hunter. I guarantee you that. You know, yeah. Madam Web and Craven the Hunter, they flopped this year. Those are Marvel movies. And you want to hate on this movie? No, you need to see those movies. I've seen Morpheus. Morpheus sucks. You know, and that deserved to flop twice in theaters. And Iron Man 2 still did better. Why? Because Jon Favreau did a good job with it, and we love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. That's the number one reason why. And plus, because they're entertaining films. And you don't need to make it rated. No, Iron Man should not be a rated R character. No, no. But that's just my opinion. But they could go in that direction, but I guess they don't want to because, they want to aim it for kids sometimes. I'm just saying they probably didn't want to make it darker, but that's just my opinion. Again, my rating for Iron Man 2 is 4 to 5 stars and thumbs up. So tell me in the comments down below, guys, what do you think of Iron Man 2 in your opinion? And what is your favorite Iron Man? Mine is the first one. And, yeah. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. This movie came out in June. It's probably gonna be another rant coming up, as I did enjoy Super and Iron Man 2, but I hated Kick-Ass. Yeah, this is probably gonna be an epic rant starring Josh Brolin, John Malkovich, and Megan Fox. This is a DC film that came out in 2010 as well. Yeah, and that is next is Jonah Hex. So stay tuned for the rant on this movie. I don't remember caring for this movie at all, but stay tuned for that next. For this next. So Jonah Hex, starring Josh Brolin, John Malkovich, Megan Fox, Michael Fassbender, Will Arnett, and Michael Shannon. That is Jonah Hex. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. This should be next Friday. Yeah, because Jonah Hex came out in June of 2010. So yeah, month after Iron Man 2 here. About 4 to 5 stars in my ranking for this one once again, and a thumbs up for Iron Man 2. Tell me what you think about this movie in the comments down below, and stay tuned for my rant review on Jonah Hex. So Jonah Hex is my next superhero review. Stay tuned for that, guys. He's a DC Comics character. It is a film that is based off comic book, DC comic book, so it's still, yeah. So it is going to be part of this marathon. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Never trust the living.